welcome to Crossbuckle Homestead. I just wanted to show you a little bit about what's going around outside of our house. It's March? Had some unseasonably warm weather in January, February, and now in March. So we are already taking some count of what needs to be done in the garden this year. So one thing I want to show you first is that some of our crocuses are already coming up. Last weekend we did some pruning and took care of some of that stuff around the house. But as you can see, we've got daylilies, irises, daffodils, and whatever these little funky things are. These are great. They have little pink flowers in late summer. I decided to tear out all of my peonies. I know, it's terrible, but they really get really bad mold and mildew. And I guess our house just isn't sunny and aerated enough to help those out. But look at this. Out of the bed comes spring. Last year we did plant some garlic to be harvested in June, and that is doing very well already. We've got these 2 beds planted with it. We also have I guess the remainder of some parsnips that we didn't pull all the way up last year, as well as, ooh, now they're running. Be nice, please. We also have some spinach that has been overwintering. It looks kind of sad right now because we did have some freezing days last week, but I think it's going to come great, and it's going to be our first harvest in spring. We actually harvested a bag of it last week before the frost, so we've been eating our greens all winter long. So we did remove some of the bushes, which was in a previous video, just to allow for more sunlight and more air in the garden. We do tend to get some mosquitoes back there. The other project that we're going to do is see those tall grasses on the back side of the yard. We're going to be removing those. We are going to be planting 3 apple trees. I haven't quite figured out which kinds yet, but I'm hoping it's going to be Pixie Crunch and Sundance, which is supposed to keep all winter. Pixie Crunch is my favorite eating apple. And then we're looking for one more that will be good for dehydrating and also for cooking up into apple butter. The other thing we're going to do is I've ordered some currants, 2 different kinds, one white currant and one black currant. And I'll tell you specifically about those when we get them. And then also several different varieties of gooseberries. And so that's what we're going to be lining the back of our yard with instead of these grasses. So we're going to cut these grasses down right here, and we're going to plant the gooseberries and currants along here. It is a little bit shaded, but I was reading online, thank goodness for the internet, that those kinds of plants do pretty good in mild shade. So that's what's going to happen here. And this is also where the apple trees are going to be going, in a nice little triangle for pollination. So once we get that going, one of my dogs got a little tired. See her? That's really dog. She likes to lay her head on the cement. This one right here is Sudan. She's our oldest greyhound. Sudan. Hey, babe. She's about 10 years old, 10 and a half or so. And then this one right here is Funky. We call her Funky Butt, because when we got her, her butt was funky. A lot of times they don't have any hair on their behind, just like that. And so her name from the track was Funky. And Funky Butt just kind of stuck. So Sudan and Funky are both from retirees from Florida, the Daytona track. And our other dog, Really, who although she is very fast, didn't quite make it to the track. I don't think she could run straight. She's a little ADHD. So she never made it to the track, but both Funky and Really are about 5 years old. And And this is her current state. She just likes to lay in the mud and lay her head on the cement. Oh, Daddy's gonna let her in. This is the other thing that Funky does. She likes to let the tall grasses just graze her back. It's like the best thing in the world. She seems really blissful when she does this, which is hilarious. But she's doing it right now. She gets in there and walks slowly forward. Especially when it's green. Like when this tree over here leaves out, she'll just walk around and around and around the tree with the leaves lightly grazing her back. It's like the best thing in the world for that dog. Again, the name suits, so we didn't change it. Let's see if I can catch her on camera doing the graze. She just likes when it tickles, I think. Anyways, thanks so much. We've got a lot to do back here. We've got a decent amount of time till spring in here in Indiana. Even though the weather's been warm, they keep telling us that it's going to frost again, and I don't doubt that at all. But we are going to be keeping tabs on what needs to happen, and we'll keep you abreast of what's going on. Thanks so much for joining us. Remember to like and subscribe.